So this is day 2. I had to order a new tube. I had some tubes and I screwed it up earlier, so this is actually take number 2 of me redoing all of this. So what we have here is the 1PZ. It is a Amazon tube. It was one of the more expensive ones. They got these cool metal whatever blah. So anyways, so what we're going to open up here is the tube. What interested me about the tube is they made it look like it was a little bit thicker than the standard tube, and filling the tube, I guess not really. So step 1, what we're going to do here is we're going to air up this tube. I just had my pump out when I sat down. Where did it go? In my pocket. So what I like to do is get a little air in my tube before I put it in the tire. Ooh. Oh, this stupid thing. Not gonna lie to you guys, I really don't like this pump terribly much, because every time I go to use it, I fight to get that thing open. But after you break fingernails and everything else, it'll... Alright, so you want to know to where this thing's inflated and round, right? Right now this thing's set on... Oh, no, it's not high volume, that's open. There we go. Yeah, okay, so... There's a couple points now, so if I remember right, it's not the last time he was going this way this time. Okay. So we gotta put the tube in. Do. And that's what's key about not putting too much air in this, is because it can't get pinched like that, right? See this little area here? That's a no bueno. That's a no-go. Okay, that's a little better. There we go. All right. Wait a minute. Make sure this is right again before I get too far this time. Yeah, we're in good shape. Okay. So as you can see, as you look down in there, you'll see that this kind of overlaps the in a lot of areas where these two surfaces are going to mate. So what I highly recommend is, before you tighten any of these up, getting this thing see how the bolts just drop down in there? That's no bueno. See, once they're down a little bit, you can kind of hold this down there. Okay. So what I'm going to do as a precaution from here is let a little bit of air out. Put a cap on it. Now it's just going to extra ensure that we're not going to pinch any of that tube in any of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just basically lightly go around. There's no real pressure on this. I'm just dropping these down until they touch metal. That's it, just barely finger tight. And once I go around and I do all of them, and keep pushing down on that just to make sure. You notice I'm just going all the way around nice and slow and pushing down as I get to certain spots to take any of the slack out of there by hand. And then you can just get all these to, you'll feel them, they hit the bottom, bink. And there it is, the bottom. So I'm just gonna go around and do that to all of them. As you see, take several trips around. Okay, now we're there. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this guy, tighten it. Everything's gonna get good snug. Remember, this is the wheel. We don't want it coming apart, and especially with the crazy riding that I do, definitely don't want it coming apart. Because I ride with total disregard. So, we got that on. Now we're gonna go ahead and install the brake, and we're gonna make sure the brake has an arrow on it, so we wanna make sure the arrow is matching the direction in which, so there it is, the arrow will be down, in which the tire is going. It is a directional brake. Okay, same thing with this. We're just going to run it down just till it's a little snug. When I say snug, I mean it's just barely tight. Like if you were doing it with your fingers, as soon as it starts to slip in your fingers, you would just stop basically. And the reason we're going to cross patterns because this is a brake. So we want to make sure that this gets on as flat and true as possible. Alright, there are two more of these. I just went around and tightened those inside bolts again. Just because. When in doubt, double check. And it's a lot easier to check them right now than when the wheel's actually on this thing, so I just went ahead and double checked them real quick. Okay, now these are all kind of snug. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this guy, go back to our first one there, and we're going to get this thing nice and snug, and we're going to go across the other side, nice and snug, across the top. There we go, star pattern, and we go, boom, boom, boom. There we go. All right, so we got that all set up. Now, time to reassemble this. In the process of doing that, we're going to go ahead and slide this guy down. Tilt this all the way forward like so. So we get the brakes lined up. There we go. There we go. Just give a double tap there. You can use a rubber hammer if you want. Use my hand. Alright, make sure you slide the lock washers in like that. You're going to tighten this guy up like this. There we go. Tighten it up with my hand. One of these go opposite directions. One goes that way, one goes this way. They're mirrored. Alright, now we're going to tighten this bad boy up.